How are you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi. Welcome to another episode of Tier Talk. Guys, great question came my way. Gangi, how do you earn influence in corrections? How do you earn it with your staff? How do you earn it with the people you supervise? How do you earn it with the higher ups? How do you earn influence over the inmate population? Now remember, influence is different than manipulation. Manipulation is selfish in nature. Influence is selfless. It's what can I get you to do to better yourself so you can reach your potential? You know, John Maxwell in his book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, talks about the law of influence. And his quote is, the true measure of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. True leadership cannot be awarded, appointed, or assigned. It comes only from influence, and that cannot be mandated. It must be earned. The proof of leadership is found in the followers. So why do some people emerge as leaders while others can't influence no matter how hard they try? He believes that several factors come into play. First is your character, who you are. Who you are. Do you have integrity, commitment, dedication? Do you have value for the work you do? Do you believe in the work you do? Are you professional? You know, we have that saying, be firm, fair, and consistent. And that really isn't so much about the outward behavior. That's just the effect. It really is how you see yourself. Being firm is, do I believe in what I'm doing? Do I believe it in so much that you could see it when I give out the directives that I must give out within my prescribed role? Being fair, being objective. Being consistent is being confident, because consistency leads to confidence. But who you are matters in this profession more than you know, because it gives you a good reputation if you connect yourself to the right qualities that relate to being a good leader. The key is, can I trust you in this position? That's the key. And that is determined by your reputation. And a good character is needed for you to earn influence, for you to earn that trust between yourself and whether it's your peers, whether it's the people you supervise, whether it's the people that supervise you, or even if it's the inmate population. Can I trust you? Also, your relationships, who you know. Guys, I tell people right at the get-go, when they're starting this career, connect yourself to the right people. The people that have value for this profession. The people that are committed, dedicated, have purpose. You need to connect yourself to people who see this as a career. Because all this is going to play out. We are judged by the company that we keep. And if we're constantly surrounding ourselves with the wrong people, well, then it becomes very hard for us to build that influence, because, again, hanging out with the wrong people, we are judged by the people we associate with. And that's also part of the reputation. Connects right back to character. If you're connecting yourself with the wrong people, you're limiting your ability to have influence over others. So with that said, I've seen that play out, guys. I've seen people that were play fiends at the beginning of their career. They were looking to belong, so they wind up associating with the wrong people. And then when they become a supervisor, they expect to get that respect. And people are quick to see who you were yesterday, who you hung out with yesterday. It's like, you're not going to get that respect from me today because you were a play fiend your whole career. I don't trust you. So with that said, coming into this profession, connecting yourself to the right people and taking that with you as you move up makes it a lot easier for you to transition into those next higher level roles, because you built a very good trajectory, a trajectory that people can trust because they see you as a professional. They know that you have integrity. They know you're committed, dedicated, the whole nine. So again, relationships, who you know, do matter. So on the adverse, if you connect yourself to the right people, not only does that as I said, people judge you by who you're with. Not only does that paint a positive picture, but it gives you the support you need to move up in this profession. Connecting yourself to people that share the same values and beliefs. Man, what a great motivation when you start to move up. Think about, who's going to have your back when you're moving up. People that are just as professional. Connecting yourself to the right people matter. Don't look to belong right away to the point where you're looking to kind of connect with just anybody. Be strategic in who you connect to. Trust and believe, guys, all that plays out as you start to move up. Trust and believe. Knowledge. In corrections, you have to constantly read up on things. You have to constantly learn. This is a journey. You're constantly growing. So the more you're able to learn in this profession, the more that will help you in your career. But not just you, the more it's going to help others. Because the moment you think that you stop learning, you start putting a lid on your ability to be great. And the people beneath you, especially the high achievers, especially if you're a supervisor, you're putting a lid on them. You have to constantly grow. And the thing about knowledge, having knowledge for the sake of knowledge is one thing, but you really want to have wisdom. And that comes when you apply what you're learning. When you make it actionable, then you definitely start getting respect. But knowledge is key. When you're in this profession, you have to constantly learn every day. Make it your mission to learn something new every day. There's trust and believe, guys. People are going to have questions. Sometimes they know the answer. They just want to see if you know it. So definitely knowledge is a great way to get that respect because it shows that you're committed to this profession. It shows that, you're taking your time to learn whatever it is that this profession expects from you. And again, knowledge is one thing. Wisdom comes from applying what you've learned. So don't just stop at gaining knowledge. Try to see where you can apply it. Try to get some, and we'll get to it, experience. And that comes to application of the knowledge that you're gaining. Intuition is key too. So a lot of us have our areas of giftedness. I think mine is communication. Russ is those searches and getting that contraband. William Young is mental health. And sometimes you become really good at it that you just feel it. Intuition is about what you feel. And sometimes you can't even explain it at the moment. It's intuition. You listen to it and it guides you. And then maybe later on you're able to dissect it and kind of see where, your thoughts came from and what made you commit to these levels of action. But most of the time, guys, when you put someone in their area of giftedness, they're led by intuition, which could be built on past experiences or just it's their gift. It's where their strength is. And people see that. People respect that. Russ is able to get people to listen to him about searches because not only did he have the knowledge, but he's made it a part of him. Like this is just something that he does, something he breathes. So people, they know he's an expert in that area and he's able to create some influence over that. Even for me with communication, people listen to what I have to say because they see that's where my gift is. The gift of gab, if you will. But intuition is usually related to someone's area of giftedness. It's usually something that they're able to feel. And when people see you moving on those feelings, when most people are trying to figure out the pieces, but you're able to maneuver, you'll gain influence. Trust and believe. Trust and believe how you're able to maneuver when most people are standing there trying to figure out what's happening and trying to put the pieces together, and you're able to keep moving because this is your area of expertise. People will go to you when they need that gift. Gangi, can you help me talk to this inmate? Or Will, I have an officer that's just not himself today. Or Russ, hey, these inmates are hiding something. And then they watch you and they learn. It's a beautiful thing. And that kind of goes along with experience, where you've been. But I want you to know something. Experience isn't just experience. It's not something that makes you grow passively. You have to evaluate your experience. You got to kind of do what we do all the time. We go through something and we sit and we question it and we ask ourselves the right questions that make us motivated. We're not asking ourselves questions that make us hesitant. We're asking ourselves questions of what we can do better and keep us motivated to keep on that right track. But it's really evaluated experience. Trust and believe. Evaluated experience gives you knowledge, gives you insight, and it connects you to the people who may not have been where you have been, may not have done what you have done. So experience does matter because people look not only to gain insight, but they look to model from good behavior. And that's when they go to people who have experience. I like what Russ does. I like how William Young talks to me. Man, I like how Gangi is able to get a hold of that inmate population and just understand the games they play. They relate to your experience, and then they model your behavior. And that's a great influence to have. But again, it's evaluated experience. This is intentional. All because you have 20 years of, let's say, experience at a busy facility doesn't mean you're an expert. Because experience for the sake of experience don't mean anything. Have you really evaluated what you went through? What have you learned? Or you just go from one moment to the next and at the end of the day's over. Trust and believe, guys. It's great to go through something and be able to sit down and really discuss it. Break it down, learn. But experience, where you've been, does matter. Past success is what you have done. This is key too, because this shows where you're productive. This shows that you have been productive. This goes beyond talk. This is where the action comes into play. Again, kind of relates to the behavior, what people see. So again, Russ is very successful. So now when Russ is on my show, he's not just talking about tips from a distance. He's talking about things that he's applied, that he's committed to action. And he has succeeded. Same thing with me. I wrote a whole book, but that book is based on experience and actionable advice that I went through, trial and error. Trial and error. Same thing with Will. And trust and believe, we have failed before we've gotten to some level of success. But having said that, it's the trial and error and then the final success that people look at. Are you productive? And again, that's where it goes beyond words. That's where they look at your actions and what you have done. Last is your ability, what you can do. What you can do. Now, for me, I'm always growing, so I'm trying my best to increase my level of expertise in different areas, but I always go to my one main strength, which is really communication and trying my best to understand human behavior. That's my strength. So if I'm able to influence people, it usually falls into that zone. Same thing with Russ. Same thing with Will. But people need to trust that you have the ability to carry these things out. And when they look at me, my past, my present, even when I do the videos here and I preach on correctional leadership, the people that trust me know or see the ability. They know I'm able to do this because of my record, because what I have done in the past and what I'm currently doing now. Your ability matters because that really is the action side of things. Can you do it? So guys, this is just a quick dialogue, how you can gain influence. I think it's a great dialogue. And mind you guys, this doesn't just play out with workers from next to you, below or above. This is also with the inmate population because it's really dealing with having influence over other people. And I think these 7 qualities, they can help. but it really does start with character. As always, guys, the show is Tear Talk. If you haven't, please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. Bell's going to notify you every time I post a video. Stay safe.